Hey, I'm Jesus Christ. I want to tell you a story about a dream I had years ago when I was sleeping, and this is when I was still struggling with figuring out who I was, finding a way out, and I had been diagnosed as having schizophrenia, and I had become gay, and I liked neither one of those situations. Especially the gay thing. I was like, oh my God, this is miserable. Because I had a girlfriend in the past. I liked girls from a young age. And about age 21, something happened to me that changed me. It seemed like I was gay. I struggled searching for answers for years. If, why am I so miserable with this? Like, I can't accept this. I can try to accept this and find pride in myself and be okay with this, but I'm just honestly not okay with this. And this is how God will speak to you, and it kind of helped me. So the years go by, and I'm looking for answers, trying to find a way out of evading this. And then one night I had a dream. I was sleeping, and like I was in like this factory, and my grandfather was there, and who had died. My grandfather was there, and it seemed like he was really there. And there was like this conveyor belt going by, and it went into like this some kind of milling machine, something with wheels and different stuff. But somehow I got onto the conveyor belt, and my head got kind of caught in the machine, and it mangled my head a little bit. And I made it out and I was alive, but I was caught in this conveyor belt, and this machine mangled my head. And at the end of the dream, there was there was me and my mother and my aunt sitting in a waiting room, and the waiting room was between heaven and earth. And I don't know what all that applies to, but my grandpa came in from an outer door like he'd come from heaven. And there's more to the dream that I won't tell you, but the fact is, I had this dream after years of not knowing who I was, being able to cope with myself, that somehow I was in this factory, and somehow I got caught on this conveyor belt, and a machine my head got sucked into some kind of manufacturing machine, and it mangled my head. And when I woke up, I knew intuitively, because my grandpa was with me. They're so real, and it seemed like God was telling me that, Chris, you were not born gay. You were not born schizophrenic. It's not a gene. It is not something that you weren't just born with a schizophrenic gene that happens to you at age 21. You weren't born gay. Something happened to you that mangled your head, and it was the machine. And now that I know years later, because I'm not schizophrenic anymore, and I'm not gay, that the left wing agenda, the leftist, the progressive movement had mangled my head with their lies and drugs, and antipsychotic medication. They call it medication. It's not, but so that's just, I want to tell you a prophetic dream. Like, if you think that you've been born gay, somewhere along the line someone hurt you. I don't care if you were 4 years old and something changed. You remember being gay from a young age. Something changed you somewhere. If you think you're schizophrenic and it just happened because you're at 17 or 21 or whatever, you were just born that way. No. Something happened to you along the way. Something happened to you. And it's not just the leftist media and agenda. I was hurt really, really badly by my first love, and my girlfriend that I dated for 4 years. I was hurt really, really badly by her, and that had a lot to do with me crumbling and turning gay and turning schizophrenic. And I studied serial killers for years, trying to understand what happened to them that made them turn into serial killers. I was looking for answers. So if you are unhappy with who you are as a person, you think you've been born with this mental illness, look at your life. Were you pretty normal? What happened just before that you became mentally ill? So you thought, or you were told you're mentally ill or something? What emotionally traumatic thing happened to you just before? Because I'm guarantee you something happened to you. You weren't born mentally ill. And if you're gay, even if it was from a young age, what happened to you at a young age? Do you ever remember kissing the opposite sex or having a crush on the opposite sex? You may look at it now and think to yourself, no, that wasn't the truth. I just didn't know myself. But no, I'm telling you, you did know yourself. If you remember liking someone of the opposite sex, even when you're little, that's a natural feeling. And I remember when I was, some of my earliest memories were like, you know, kindergarten. I could sense that I'd come out of heaven. I had a crush on this girl. It was actually a Jewish girl in my elementary school. I had a crush on her. And I know when I thought of her, like, I could sense that I'd come out of heaven. And she was not the person I'm meant to be married to. She was not my wife in heaven. My wife in heaven was Lauren Daigle. She was up in heaven still. She was in heaven waiting to be born after me. But don't buy what they tell you if you're just born with this gene, you're bipolar, you're schizophrenic or anything. Don't buy that shit. They're lying to you. Something happened to you, and then a progressive movement happened to you. Maybe you were molested if you think you're gay. Maybe someone emotionally abused you really bad. Maybe you experimented and you just made assumptions that's who you were and you went with it and it caused your mind to change. So I just want to tell you about that prophetic dream. I was going along through life and somehow I got pulled into this machine and it mangled my head. Didn't kill me. But the moral of the story and the good story is I'm not gay anymore. I'm not schizophrenic and I know it. Neither one. I never was. I've been hurt, injured, and mangled. So dreams will speak to you. Dreams indeed will speak to you as a human being, as a child of God. Listen to those dreams. You'll know. If you're searching for answers, God's going to give you an answer at some point. You'll find your answer when you're asleep, in dreams, because God can get your attention there. Look for your answers. Your answers are going to matter to your heart too. Whatever answer comes to you, it's going to matter to your heart. It's going to matter about the things that bother you and are hurting you. Like, so don't be afraid. You know, you're nothing to be ashamed of. You are a beautiful being when you see your true self. If you are something right now that you're ashamed of, trust me, it's not who you really are. Move towards God. Move towards God tell the truth. And you'll be amazed. You're going to find that you are a much more beautiful being than you see. You're not seeing yourself in your true reality. Your true reality is not gross. It's not defective. Your true reality is nothing to be ashamed of. Listen to your dreams. Have a great day.